everybody, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Philadelphia Sports, where, as you might have guessed it, we go over everything that's happened this week in Philadelphia sports. Again, if you're new to this channel and you do enjoy this content, congratulations, because you have just been drafted with the 21st overall pick. You are our shiny new wide receiver, and we are just slinging you deep passes all day long with the hopes that you'll catch them in the subscribe end zone. All we need you to do to join our offense is hit that big red subscribe button and join our community, bringing you as much Eagles content as possible this offseason, and we would just love for you to be a part of our team. Now, normally these videos are flooded with Eagles headlines and rumours and signings and all the rest of it, but nothing's really happened in the last 7 days. I mean, in fact, the last 7 days of news from my account, as someone that runs Phillies Sports Network and the website and writes all the articles, has been about as busy as my Valentine's Day was, which was very, very quiet. But that doesn't mean that noise wasn't happening elsewhere. ESPN posted an article saying that the Eagles were potential candidates to land Darius Slay, which led to my favourite types of articles, which where everyone else copies it and says, ESPN says the Eagles should do this, and then that's their why, just do you, moving on. But today, ESPN's Adam Schefter also posted a tweet stating that Detroit have fielded multiple calls for the 3-time Pro Bowler. But the question is, are the Eagles one of those teams? If they're not, should they be one of those teams? Since 2014, the Eagles cornerback group has been about as reliable as a house made out of chocolate. But this is the year it could all change, because Ronald Darby is finally a free agent. Jalen Mills is set to enter free agency, which means that if neither of them come back, at the very least, the Eagles are going to need 2 cornerbacks. Now, they could promote Rasul Douglas or Sidney Jones to an outside spot, but on the other end of that spectrum, you're going to need at least 1 starter, and they've got the capital to do it. Now, the debate that I think is currently raging on is going to be between Darius Slay and Byron Jones, and we've got to get into the ifs, buts, and maybes. But let's just focus on Darius Slay first, because this is very interesting. He's entering the final year of his contract, which means he's going to carry a cap hit of $13.4 million, which isn't pretty. So to acquire such a lovely cap hit, the Eagles are going to have to give something up. Now, the Trade Machine article suggested that the Eagles are going to trade a 3rd round pick in Sidney Jones, which makes sense. Corey Undlin, the former DB coach of the Eagles, is now Detroit's defensive coordinator. He has experience with Jones, but the main value there obviously is the 3rd round pick. Eagles may be willing to give that up since they're getting so many compensatory picks. They're basically making it rain with comp picks this year. But is it worth giving up all of that just for a player who is going to command roughly the same price level for a rental that you could start backloading a deal with Byron Jones? Now, Slay thrives in man coverage. We all remember that 2017 season where he had 8 interceptions and 26 passes. 26 passes defense. He's rapid, he's aggressive, he's feisty at the line of scrimmage, his click and close is unbelievable. He's like a good version of Ronald Darby. But this year he had 2 picks and 23 tackles in 12 games, along with 12 passes defensed. A bit of a quieter year. And many people are saying, yeah, but the defense was bad, but the defense has been bad in Detroit for about as long as I can remember. Slay has still found ways to excel and become a 3-time Pro Bowler in that span of being absolutely atrocious. The thing we have to bear in mind here is that Slay is going to want a long-term deal. The idea is that he wants to be paid like one of the top corners in the NFL. Is he one of the top corners in the NFL? I don't know, and I don't want to feel like I'm being ignorant when I'm saying this, but what I would position to you right now is to, off the top of your head, okay, think of your top 10 cornerbacks in this league and see how far down you go until you think, that's not right, Slay should be in there. Stephon Gilmore, Marshon Lattimore, Tre'Davious White, Marcus Peters, Jalen Ramsey, Richard Sherman, Xavier. It's very easy to get deep into that list until you go, yeah, Slay should be around there. He's around that sort of corner. And that's what gets me. If he's going to want top tier money, and the Eagles are paying pretty much top tier money just for a chance to pay him top tier money long term, why? Why would he bother when you can just get Byron Jones at top tier money, but backloaded? We know Howie Roseman doesn't like paying corners up. It just doesn't happen. Howie Roseman is like that friend who on a night out where everyone buys drinks for everyone else will go up and buy themselves a drink and no one else and come back and expect you to buy them around a day later. That's Howie Roseman. He does magical things with the cap hit because he's so concerned about money, which is amazing. It's a great quality to have. It's seen talents like Lane Johnson, Zach Ertz, Brandon Brooks, even Carson Wentz signed to some very attractive deals. But when you talk about Darius Slay and even someone like Malcolm Jenkins who wants that kind of money up front, guaranteed in his pocket to say, I'm the best at my position, that's not where the Eagles, at least as of late, have been placing their emphasis. They like getting a player they can backload. They start them off nice and slow, and they guarantee much larger sums of money as time goes on. They can have dummy years, they can rework those deals, they can add incentives to those deals. That doesn't strike me, at least at face value, as to the kind of thing that Darius Slay is after. So it leaves me hesitant that why would you give up a pick, a player, maybe even more than that, just for a one-year rental at $13 million, which is a lot of money, for a chance at signing him long term when you could just go and get a better scheme fit in Byron Jones, who is a zone cornerback, who's been absolutely exceptional under Rod Marinelli's defense. If it comes between the two of them, I'm running Byron Jones every single day of the week. If the Eagles do go out and trade for Darius Slay, it's not exactly a bad move. If anything, it's a great move. It's an instant improvement over what they've already got. Not hard to do, bear in mind. But I think what needs to happen for this move to make sense is the Eagles need a direction. If you get Darius Slay, it's likely going to be a transitional period. A Sam Bradford cornerback, if you will. Someone to hold the fort while you develop talent underneath. They finally give Sidney Jones a shot. Maybe they believe in Avonte Maddox, or maybe they've finally gotten over their grudge with Rasul Douglas. Or perhaps it's going to lead to the drafting of another talent, who knows. But if you get Byron Jones and that deal is instantly a 5-year one, let's say, that's the guy you build around. And then you've got two starters you can groom up, and you build a longer term vision at that picture. Slay to me would feel like a deadline move. You trade for him at the deadline, you know what you're getting, he's highly productive at the catch point, you get him in that defense, he's going to be a game changer. But realistically, in a long term picture, is he going to be worth that top tier money? Is he the difference right now between losing to the Seahawks and going to a championship game and beyond? Because I'm not sure he is. I'd love to know what you guys think down below. Scold me, say I should stick to soccer, and in honour of the Daytona 500, let's not forget the time someone once told me I sound like a NASCAR wheel gun. Say that as well. But on to the Philadelphia Flyers, and they almost overcome the Tampa Bay Lightning. They almost completed the comeback of ages, but Tampa Bay went, nah, and they just sorted them out, really, and they're now on a 10-game win streak. I mean, they're basically the hottest team in the NHL. We knew the Flyers may struggle on the road to a team that had won 9 in a row. They'd have a problem, the Flyers, with consistency. 1 minute they're scoring 7, the next minute they're conceding 7, and there was no real rhythm or rhyme. But this was set to be a game that would test their absolute mettle against one of the NHL's best. Are they ready for a playoff caliber game? And there was a lot to like, a few concerns, but overall, a lot of reasons to be optimistic. And now just 1 point off of 3rd place in the Metro, because Columbus are oddly losing everything now, which is great. They're 6-3-1 in their last 10. Morgan Frost got sent down due to some overcrowding on the roster, and Nolan Patrick is on his way back. As for the Phillies, spring training is underway, and there was a new face apparently playing for the Phillies by the name of Lawrence McCutcheon. I've got nothing against Howard Eskin. We've had him on our show before. I got to meet him in London. He's surprisingly a really nice guy, and I'm a big fan of what Spike does with the rights to Ricky Sanchez shirt. And he's occasionally name-dropped me in podcasts and stuff. But to get the first name and the last name explicitly wrong, that takes some doing. So Larry McCutcheon, I salute you. As for the Sixers, it's been the All-Star break this week, where they came off a big win against the Clippers, where I think Brett Brown overcame a lot of criticism. He made some nice in-game adjustments. Korkmaz, who had been the red-hot hand for about the last week, was taken out due to starting ice cold, and as a result, they put in their new signing, Greg Robinson, and he put up some nice numbers before Embiid and Simmons combined for 52 points, guiding the team to victory, and a gap that couldn't come at a better time, alright? The Sixers have been struggling massively right now. We've had rumours, we've had the Al Horford thing, we've had the trade deadline, we've had the team almost collapsing, we've had morale, we've had this, that, and the other, and now they just get a week to relax, take a breath, the Mike Scott Hive has an event, the All-Star game happens, and we can just hit the reset button and hope the Sixers come back firing for the second half of the season. And then the Philadelphia Union, their season starts in a couple of weeks. We launched our Philadelphia Union podcast this week here on Philly Sports Network called Deep by the River. You can check it out. It's on our YouTube channel and all good podcasting platforms. And that is it for another episode of This Week in Philadelphia Sports. Guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. It's always fun talking shop with you guys. Let us know what you think down in the comments. From myself, Liam Jenkins, I'll see you soon.